Hi, my name is Michelle Metzner, and today I'm going to walk you through how to use the UbD Stage 2 template to identify the unit performance tasks in which students will engage to demonstrate understanding, develop the evaluative criteria by which attainment of the desired results will be assessed, identify the unit's other evidence through which students can demonstrate achievement of the desired results, develop the evaluative criteria by which the desired results produced by the other evidence will be assessed, and create an analytic grading rubric for performance task assessment. So let's go ahead and get started. In case you didn't see my first video on UbD, let me go ahead and explain what UbD is. UbD, also known as Understanding by Design, is an educational planning approach that uses backward design to structure classes. In backward design, course designers examine the learning objectives for a course and then work backward to create the appropriate units, assessments, and activities for that course. The goal of UbD is for students to achieve understanding of material, not just skills or knowledge of facts. In Stage 2 of UbD, the designer's goal is to determine acceptable evidence that learning is taking place. The template below walks designers through the process of this second stage of the UbD process. The performance task section is broken down into 3 columns. In the far left column is the desired results code column. This is where designers will put all of the transfer goals and all of the meaning goals codes that they developed in Stage 1 of the template. In the center column is the performance tasks column. This is where how students will demonstrate their understanding through complex performance. And they will state it as students will show that they really understand by evidence of, and then they will list the tasks that students must complete to demonstrate that evidence. And then in the far right column, there's the evaluative criteria. And in this column, designers will enter what criteria will be used in each assessment to evaluate the attainment of the desired goals. The other evidence section of Stage 2 is where designers will place assessments of knowledge, skill, standards, and other goals that are not otherwise assessed by performance tasks. These types of evidence would be things like quizzes, homework assignments, short writing assignments, things like that. Okay. This is also set up in a 3-column design. In the left column, the course designer will put the desired results codes. Now these codes are slightly different from the previous section. These codes will include all meaning goals and all skill and transfer goals and all knowledge and skill goals, and all of those codes will go in that left column. In the center column goes the other evidence. So again, we're talking about quizzes, tests, academic prompts, observations, homework, journals, etc. Okay, that students will use to demonstrate achievement of desired results. All of those go in that center column. And then in the right column go the evaluation criteria for the other evidence. Okay, so what criteria is going to be used in each assessment to evaluate the attainment of the desired results. The final section of Stage 2 of the UbD template is the grading rubric. And grading rubrics are basically designed to help designers and instructors very uniformly grade the criteria for any given assignment. Okay? Now, you'll notice in this particular rubric, you'll see this section here that says type in which performance task assessment you've opted to use to develop your grading rubric here. Let's talk about the actual rubric structure here. So you'll notice that the rubric is split into 2 large sections. In the left column, this is where you will list the criteria that you are evaluating. And this criteria comes from the two previous sections in that right column, the evaluative criteria from the two previous sections. That's where you will list, or those criteria go here in the left column of the grading rubric. In the right column, this is where you describe what the characteristics to earn the assessment grade, okay? And you'll see that this column here is broken down into 4 subcolumns. And your rubrics can be as detailed as you like. They can have more subcolumns if you want. This particular one just has the 4 subcolumns marked exemplary, sufficient, needs revision, and no evidence. Now, below each of those headings, the exemplary, sufficient, and so on, you will describe, like you will write a description of what makes performance on this assignment exemplary, what makes performance on this assignment sufficient, what makes performance on this assignment needing revision, and no evidence. I mean, I think that's pretty self-explanatory, but if you need to write something there that explains what no evidence means, then by all means, write something there. And so to use the rubric as you go through, you say, okay, so for this particular criterion, let me assess this, this assignment and go, okay, for this particular criterion, was the student's performance exemplary? Was it sufficient? Does it need some revision? Or was there no evidence of this particular criterion in this assignment? Okay, and you go through and you do that for all of the criteria related to that particular assignment. Thank you for joining me for this discussion on Stage 2 of the UbD template. Remember, Stage 2 was all about determining acceptable evidence. We talked about how to identify and define performance tasks and the evaluative criteria for those tasks, as well as defining what other evidence we can use to assess student learning, as well as the evaluative criteria for that other evidence. And we also talked about how to design and use a grading rubric. If you have any other questions, please send me an email at michelle.metzner@wright.edu, and I will be happy to get back to you as soon as possible. Thank you so much.